Hi guys and welcome back to Student Life. My name is Becky and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my experience on work placement, how it benefited me and what advice I would give to other students who are thinking of doing work placement. So I'm currently a third year journalism student and I knew since I started on this course that it was going to be a requirement to have at least 10 days of work placement as part of my degree. I'm sure you always hear people say that you should get work placement because it makes you look more employable. I knew that it was important to have work experience anyway, but having it as part of my course and not being able to graduate without having work placement meant that it was even more important for me and other people on my course to get that placement. So as I say, I'm a journalism student and my preferred area of journalism is in print magazine journalism. So I managed to get a placement at a publishing house in Horncastle. So going into my work placement, I was feeling really apprehensive, which is completely natural, I think, because I was going into a completely new environment that I'm not familiar with at all, meeting completely new people. I felt a lot of pressure on myself to make a good impression, and also I knew the days were going to be really long, so I knew I would be waking up at 5:15, not getting home till 6:30, and then pretty much going straight to bed. So I wasn't particularly looking forward to that, but I was excited to see what was to come. So yeah, as I say, before I went to the placement, I didn't really know what department of magazine journalism specifically I wanted to work in when I graduate. But what was really good about my placement is I got to experience being in pretty much every different department at the company. So I spent a couple of days in design, a couple of days in editorial, marketing, digital, picture desk, everywhere really. So that was really good for me because although it allowed me to see the areas that I'm not so interested in and couldn't see myself working in, it also allowed me to find the areas that I really loved. So obviously that is a massive benefit that I felt from going on placement, was that it gave me a better idea of the area I would like to work in once I do graduate. Also, it gave me a massive boost to my confidence because a lot of the work that I was given whilst I was on placement was really valuable stuff that actually was going to be used. So I wrote a couple of stories that were published online and in a paper, did a bit of design work that was going to be published, stuff like that. So it really boosted my confidence to know that the stuff I'd learned at university I could put into practice and it would be successful, because I'd never really experienced what I've learned at uni being put into a real work environment. So yeah, that was a massive boost to my confidence. Obviously, of course, it allowed me to gain a lot of contacts in the industry where I wouldn't be able to if I hadn't got on placement. Also allowed me to show my ability to perhaps potential employer, and of course gives me a lot of stuff to talk about on my CV and in future job interviews in the industry as well. So some advice for students who might be looking for work experience or about to go on their work placement is to try and look for a company, if possible, that has a good reputation with hosting work experience students, because I think that means they're more likely to give you valuable work to do that could actually be useful to them, rather than just being on, you know, tea and coffee duties, photocopying stuff, because not only is that so boring for you, but also you don't gain anything from doing that. So definitely, if possible, find a place that has a good reputation with work placement students. I would also advise anyone to just throw themselves into whatever work they're given while they're on placement, because it'll make a good impression of yourself, and also even if you think it's something that you're not really capable of doing, you might surprise yourself and do a really good job with whatever work they've given you. And even if you don't, they're there to ask for help and you're there to learn. Let me know what your experience on work placement was like, or if you have any advice for anybody else, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!